So today I was thinking about how wonderful Fridays are for me. In the past, Fridays used to be such a stressful day because I wanted Fridays to be have a great school day, teach the kids. On Fridays, I would have a competition with all my students where we would do the NPR Puzzler. For those who know that the Puzzler has been a tradition on NPR for 30 years, but it's something that's so obscure that my students would never know where I'm getting these word puzzles from. And it's just such a perfect way to end the week, having a class competition where students try to figure out these word puzzles and we have just such a great time. I've had students who are now in their 30s coming up to me saying, I love the puzzler on Fridays and I loved getting Dowa dollars and it was just the highlight of my time at the school and in your classroom. So Friday was really a time for my students and my children to have fun. And after school, we would have Juma prayer. Usually that would take place in the middle of the day, and school would finish early on that day. And then we would all head over for Friday prayers, and we're all dressed up, looking nice. And after that, we'd head over to Alhambra in Arlington, Texas, and just eat lots of naan and rice and yogurt. We would go nuts at Alhambra. And it would just be such a fun day. We would all sit as a family and talk about our week and what did we enjoy, what did we not like, what friends were bothering everyone, what things upset the kids that week, what things they accomplished. It was just such a great bonding time when they were so little and so full of personality and spunk. I really love those days, but child, when we finished eating, that whole area, table, floor would just be full of rice and yogurt and chicken. It was so ridiculous how those kids could not keep the food in their mouths. And then after that, we'd head over to Blockbuster Video. I'm really showing my age now. We'd head over to Blockbuster, and the kids would be able to pick two videos of their choice. And it's so cute because they would always choose the same videos. Sakina would always choose Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella with Brandy, and we would sing all the songs and just enjoy, even though we knew what was going to happen every single time. And then she'd pick another newer movie that had just come out. And then Abu Bakr, my eldest son, he would pick Batman or Batman Begins or Batman Reloaded or whatever. But it was definitely a spin-off of some type of Batman. And the Joker would just be up to his craziness. I remember Joker, he would poison the water sometime, and then people would eat the fish or drink the water, and they would actually have these grotesque smiles appear on their faces and then pass out and die. And I've just watched these videos over and over and over with the kids. And it was just a fun day, but a very busy day of taking the kids all over. Then a lot of times we would hit Chuck E. Cheese on Friday, and Chuck E. Cheese was just where they would go nuts, get all their energy out, play games, run around, stand on those machines and drop balls into the circles and get tons of tickets and buy weird toys that would break the same day with those winnings. Chuck E. Cheese got a lot of my money, that is for sure. And those just were the best days. And I would bring my laptop into Chuck E. Cheese and the stack of papers I would have for the weekend. And while they were playing, I would just go ahead and grade all the papers for the weekend, start my lesson planning for the next week, and then be done. But it was a lot of work. It would take 2 hours. And by that time, the kids had had enough of playing. They had enough pizza. They had enough of getting all the different sodas and mixing them together and just getting on a sugar high, and we would finally head home. And if the weather was good, we would do the park instead of Chuck E. Cheese. But in Texas, during most of the year, let's just be honest, it's really hot. So Chuck E. Cheese was a way for them to get all their energy out and not get hot. And now, just looking at my life with adult children and a grandchild, the pace of my life is so much different. I work remotely now, so I'm not doing the whole grading stacks of papers, which is something that I kind of miss, but I really don't, because that was another way where the kids and I would bond. Sometimes Nora or Sakina or Abu Bakr would each take a stack and grade it up, put stickers on them, and write nice comments to my students. And they really enjoyed playing teacher. But now not having papers to grade, oh my gosh, it is so nice. I love it so much. And just thinking about last Friday, having Fridays off, sleeping late, getting up, puttering around the house, doing some content creation, and then heading over to Cullum or Valley Ranch. And last Friday, I met up with my girl Narmeen, and she happened to have her whole family visiting. So we were just sitting around talking. I was telling them about my Grenada experience and giving them boxes of spice because Grenada is the spice island, and just giving them the mace and turmeric and cinnamon and cloves and nutmeg and all the spices that we produce, and them just being so happy to get something unexpected. There's nothing better than an unexpected gift. And then we just was like, let's just go to the coffee shop attached to the masjid and order some matchas and coffees. And then after that, we just all sat down, like Narmeen, her cousins, and all of the little kids running around. And we just all sat around just laughing, talking, enjoying our coffees, and just getting to know each other and being in community. For a remote worker, I don't think you guys realize how big that is, because when you work in an office, you have that built in community. You go out for lunch together, you do weekend things together, you have meetings every day together. But for me, those Fridays of just hanging out with my buddies and making new friends are just so perfect. They're so wonderful for me. And then this week, I got a chance to hang out with my girl, Ia, who lives close to me, like minutes away. And we just walked at our park, and she brought out all of her kids, and she was just giving me the latest gossip about being a teacher and school life. And I was commiserating with her, and hearing the updates of the school and what's going on now is just so great that people have gotten promoted that I've really liked, and people are moving up within the school. It's just so nice. And just having that nice exchange while getting our walk in, it just made the time go by so nicely. And it was just unbeatable. People were flying kites, and the kids were all in pajamas all over the park. It was a beautiful 75 degrees outside. It was just a perfect day. Maybe a little bit on the hazy side, but overall, such a perfect day. There were cranes flying everywhere and birds all over the place, and the kids riding their bikes and on their scooters and falling and getting back up and crying and the snot off of their noses. It was so wholesome. It was so good. And people just walking by and wishing us happy holidays, and just the community. It's so needed as a remote worker and someone who is not always in community besides virtual community. It is just nice to have real face to face interactions with people other than family members. Even though I adore my family, it's just nice to have that community in addition to family. So, yeah, that's it for my video of the day. Just enjoying Fridays and really thinking about how Fridays used to be versus how they are now. And there's something so beautiful about the progression and how I enjoyed myself back in my busy era, and I'm enjoying myself now in my more slowed down, lazy girl era. So, thank you all for listening. Happy Friday, Juma Mubarak to everyone. I am going to order some Indian food and take a nap. All right, y'all. Talk to you tomorrow in my next video. Bye.